Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the June 11th, 2024 meeting of the Fitchburg Zoning Board of Appeals. I now call this meeting to order, but reserve the right to use the gavel as I see fit from here on out. Please be advised that FATV is conducting an audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast. If anyone in the audience who is recording this meeting, please stand, identify yourselves for the record now by stating your name and city of residence. Okay. Seeing none, because everyone watches FATV, I am going to ask that we begin this meeting by standing to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. And Mr. Talbot, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, sir. All right. So I am going to make a brief announcement at the beginning of this meeting. We have had some recent questions to the board about submitting comments from the public. And let me just say that this board tries very hard to take in public comment and incorporate it as much as we can. Our normal procedure, if somebody wants to... If someone wants to speak on any item that is on the agenda, they are welcome to come to the open meeting, and we provide an opportunity almost always for the public to make comment. If someone would like to make a written comment before then, they are welcome to submit that either by hard copy to the building department or by email to our fine zoning secretary, Mercedes Mata, and her email is printed at the top of the agenda. However, when something has already been decided by the board or is not on the agenda, we do not take public comment, and it is always at the option of the chair not to take public comment for those kinds of issues until they are once again on the agenda for an open meeting, an open hearing. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware how public comment worked. And again, the board tries very hard to make opportunity for it. And we're always willing to hear suggestions if anybody has any good ideas. I am now going to call the first case on the agenda. That is ZBA 2022-13, Adam Pishtadian for 76 Pritchard Street. From 6 to 6:30 p.m., we are going to be calling the review cases so that if anyone is not here or is not ready, we may call them out of order before we get to the first non-review case. Mr. Pishtadian, welcome to the meeting. Okay.
Thank you.
So you are here on the review of the special permit that we have granted to reinstate a vacant or abandoned building and convert it from, I believe there was a 4-family use at one point in time to a 2-family use located in residential C. So we had issued a special permit to you, I'm going to say quite some time back, and I understand that you have not yet completed the work on the project. Could you give us a brief update on what the status is, please?
I'm actually almost done. In a matter of 2 to 3 weeks, I'll be done. And I got the plumbing, rough electrical. Actually, I have a final electrical incoming this Friday. They're supposed to come out. The permit is there. And house is inside there, almost done. Is painted. All electricals, outlet is on it. Not all of them, some of them. And the only major thing left is I got to waiting for the get the doors and the floors, to get the floor down on the door. The floor is, the bedroom's going to be carpeted anyway. It's just a matter of a couple of days they come and they carpet it. Everything else is, and after that I got to go to detail, like getting the little stuff, like a step. If it's some of them broken, I got to change them, and stuff like that. I got to get it through. But I'm working very hard on it, and it'll be done in a matter of 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
And I just need you give me a little bit more time, and I'll be all set.
So just to review, your special permit was originally granted on July 12th of 2022. We have held review hearings on April 11th, 2023, July 11th, 2023, and October 10th, 2023. And I believe that you just pulled the new electrical permit on June 7th. And before that, there had not been any activity since November, right?
Yeah, activity. I wasn't here for 6 months, 5.5 months. And as soon as I got back, I start to working on the project, and I'm very close to be finished. The only problem is this plumber and the electrician. They are unbelievable. They ripped me off, a couple of them. They took the money, they left, and I waited for them. They never came back. And even now, the electrician, they've been telling me every week, next week, I'm going to get it done. It's only like 3-4 hours job, more left. But even that, they just giving me a lot of problem, and I can't do nothing. I can't change them now because it's in the plumbing is nothing. It's just as soon as he comes, I'm waiting for my vanity and kitchen cabinet to get those installed. So as soon as I get that, in a matter of 1 day, the plumbing will be done. And I had the plumber inspector in the house. Was it this week? Yeah, last Friday. And he looked and he came over. There's not much left, but the way it looks right now, it looks really a mess. Everything is all over the place. And I did the bridge in the back as you saw it. You came and looked at it. And the bridge is done. And the only thing I got to do, the porch outside is the porch I got to do. I talked to her about it, and I'm going to do it. It'll be in a matter of before these 3 weeks finished.
Okay.
That's the update.
So as I look at the conditions, and I'm going to just look at the ones that are related to the work, and this was as modified at the last review hearing on October 10th of 2023. The project was to be completed within 16 months, and I think we're well outside of that. We're well outside of that timeline. And I'm just going to try to determine what are our facts right now, and then we can deal with what happens because of that. The front porch was to be repaired or replaced, and you've said that's on your list to do. The granite steps were to be repaired or replaced, and I did note and thank you for repairing the steps that lead up to the property. But there was to be a facing that was similar in style to the granite block, and that's something that I think you still need to do on the top 2 steps, as I've discussed with you. The dormer and the right-hand stairwell were to be removed within 3 months after you get an occupancy permit, so that is not yet to be done. And then the walkway is to be either removed, or if the fire department requires it to continue in place, to be replaced in accordance with safety and code requirements. And this, and again, this is a comment I made to you in person. Looking at the construction of that stairwell, I'm not sure how it's going to pass inspection, but I'm not the building inspector.
I'm sorry.
And then I'm also going to just note that the building inspector has told us that he has taken a look at the property and updated the status as of yesterday. And you need the final inspections on plumbing, electrical, and building. And that's obviously going to take a little more time. What I'm going to do, because this is a review, I'm going to briefly see if there's any public comment, and then I'm going to go to our board members for questions.
Sure.
Is there any person or member of the public who would like to make a comment on this review? Do we have any persons online to start off with?
Excuse me.
Okay.
I had the inspector
And
came
so,
yesterday.
sir,
Oh, I'm sorry.
let's just
I'm sorry.
wait till we get there. All right, so we have no persons online to make public comment, and there's no other city department comment at this time that's been submitted in writing. So I'm going to go to board members, unless our building commissioner would like to speak first, sir.
So just as a note from our records, Building Inspector Mark Sullivan, who's been handling this case, did make a comment yesterday at 10:56 a.m. saying that he just needs final inspections for plumbing, electric, and building, and told him to apply for occupancy. Looks like a few more weeks. And Mr. Pestadian did apply for a certificate of occupancy earlier today at 11:55 a.m., which shows he is moving towards occupancy on this, and that the building inspector is involved and is aware of everything. He also had notes from earlier in the process that they had met to discuss all the ZBA conditions and requirements to make sure that that Mr. Pestadian was aware of everything that needed to happen, and that the zoning approval is required before a certificate of occupancy.
So while we are here in public and the topic is on our minds, I'm just going to ask that when an inspection is done, particular care is paid to the walkway that extends from the upper street onto the third level of the property. On my viewing over the weekend, the spindles of the railing had about a 1.5-inch gap between the top of the spindle and the wood of the railing bar. And while there was a screw in between, there was significant play in the railing, and just the construction of that. I just want to make sure it's up to code and safe. So if particular contention could be paid to that issue, that would be appreciated by the ZBA. Thank you.
I just made the note in our.
It's already repaired, and Mr. Sullivan came, looked at it. He was very happy with it. He jumped up and down and said, "Oh, this is beautiful." That's all I can say. You can talk to him and ask him. And I did repair that already. I put the board foot.
It's not to cover up the issue that there's a gap.
It's not covered. It's nailed
It's-
from the top piece to
Yes,
the bottom.
normally the spindles connect to the wood.
So the boat
And so
nailed
that's, again, it's all I'm going to say on it. I've looked at it. I do not agree that it looks safe to me. I am not the person who does the inspections, so I just want the department to make sure that it's up to code. Okay?
Yes. That's why he came and he looked at it, and he was fine. It's fine.
Okay.
But-
So I'm going to go to board member questions now. Mr. Reynolds, any
No
questions?
questions at this time.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Byrne, do you have any questions for the permit holder?
For him, no, I don't.
Okay,
But I do have a question for the commissioner.
okay.
Sir, please, you take a look at that walkway. It is so unprofessional. And if that was passed by your inspector needs to have it, to be chastised. That's all I have to say.
Duly noted and heard. And our inspectors typically now, as of the last couple of months, start taking photographs on the inspections a lot of the time. So I'll ask him to pay particular attention and add some photographs of this.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. I'm not sure, Mr. Commissioner, from the comment that was made that it was an actual inspection so much as just here's the status.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
No, I don't think there was an inspection because it's not logged in. The last logged inspection was September of last year.
I'd agree. All right. All set, Mr. Byrne?
I'm fine.
Mr. Talbot, any questions for
No
the
questions.
permit holder?
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Gallagher, any questions for the permit holder?
Yes, Madam Chair, just one. Adam, when do you think you're going to be completed, providing your electrician comes? Because you said you're still waiting on him. If he
everything-
comes on schedule, how much more
Everything
time?
depends on this electrician. He promising me, but he does come and work like half an hour and then he leave. But he promised me, he gave me the electrical permit today. He said, I already got the permit. I promise you, the inspector wasn't ready because he was off for 5 days. I don't know. That's what he said. I'm not saying that's happened. But he said he's coming definitely Friday to inspect it. The job is done. It's just got to be, he come to inspect it so they connect the electricity.
So if he keeps his promise, when do
If
you
we keep it, in a matter of 3 weeks, I'll be all done.
Okay.
I mean, not even, but I push it another extra week, so I said 3 weeks. It should be done in 2 weeks, but I'm working on it, believe it or not, like 2
No, I understand. Thank you, sir.
18
Yeah.
hours a day.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. McLaughlin, questions for the permit holder?
Thank you, Madam Chair. When we were there quite a while ago, the place was completely gutted.
Yeah.
So has it been insulated and
Insulated,
sheetrocked?
yeah, inspected. The inspector came, looked at the installation before we put the sheetrock on, and he okayed it for sheetrock, and we sheetrock it, and now it's all painted, everything was all set.
Okay, so we have those
That was in
inspections?
September, that was in September of last year.
Okay, we have all of that?
Yes.
Okay, great.
He made the note in September that he's able to sheetrock all walls that do not require rough plumbing.
Okay.
Yeah, but plumbing was, after that, rough plumbing was done. I had the guy, he came and he put the test on it, the air test and everything, so it was all done.
Okay, thank you.
And then I put the sheetrock.
I too, my eyes were wide open when I saw the construction of that, I'll call it a bridge from the rear road. What street is that?
I believe it's
Pleasant.
on the
Pleasant.
back.
Pleasant to the
Yes.
house. So they share the same concerns as other board members. The other thing, how far are we into the project from the,
The original grant was on July 12th of 2022, so we are coming up on 2 years.
okay. So in light of how much time has passed, I'd like the board to consider a possible change in number 5 to get this project completed. And that these items be completed prior to occupancy, or at least maybe consider just one unit so we can get this wrapped up.
Oh, my gosh.
Somebody shut the lights off.
Just the lights out there.
Oh, it's
Somebody
just the lights, not the, okay.
might be on a timer.
For most of it, I'm sorry, I disturbed you. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm just speaking to the
Yeah.
board.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Because this is a pretty substantial piece of the project, number 5, and I just hate to see this be delayed. It's a crucial part of us ensuring that the building came back to, architecture that was somewhat original, and ensure that, third floor doesn't get used and that it is a 2-family, not a future 3-family.
So I will say that the permit holder was kind enough to let me on the interior of the 3rd floor, and at present, I see no indication that it's being renovated to use as a living space. But I share your concern about the future and ensuring that compliance is complete and not later drop. I wonder if we can do a little bit of half and half here. And that is considering approving the review as to the certificate of occupancy for 1 unit without that being completed, and releasing the hold on the second unit only upon completion of the dormer removal, condition 5,
In the stairs.
and stairs.
Yeah, yeah, that's,
And that way, if there's, Mr. Pishtadian has expressed a need to me to be able to reside in the property while he's working on it. And that, of course, depends on whether or not he qualifies for a certificate of occupancy as well as the zoning determination. But I think I'd be willing to let the hold go for one unit, but impose it as to the second.
and a timeline. Because the second unit could just not be occupied, and then these items remain undone. I just, in light of how long this project has taken, I just think it's a, courtesy to the board to try to get things finished.
I also do not want to have this drag out, and I know that in the fall, if things remain the way that they are, you're going to be returning to see your family again and be absent for another few months.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go as soon as, after 3 weeks, I'm gonna go. My baby and my wife, my son, they just waiting for me, and it's hard for me to stay away for too long.
So you're
I am going, I'm being honest. The only reason it took all this time, just because I'm only come here for 2-3 months, I'm working, then I go back, because my family did. But I applied for them, they accepted. We got the acceptance, we're just waiting for interview from immigration to bring my family up. As soon as, if that happened, they telling me they don't know it's gonna happen tomorrow or 1 year later. They don't know. But as soon as that happened, my family comes, I'm all set. I don't have to go nowhere. I get everything done, and I'll be happy. It's very hard for me to stay away
I
from
hope
my
you and
family.
your family are reunited and don't have any other issues separating you. I really do. I think it's very
Thank you.
difficult to be so separated. But what that does tell me is that when you are not here, work stops on that property. And
When what?
when you're not here,
Yes.
all work stops on that property.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not here. I don't want anybody goes there. It's just somebody goes there and look and to see everything's okay, and that's it. If something goes wrong, and he's going to call.
So
the
our
police
next
or something.
meeting is July the 12th, is it? 9th. Are you going to be here?
I don't think so. As soon as I get my occupancy, I'm just going to go.
Okay.
And
Well, this is what I'm trying to tell you. You're not going to get your occupancy until the board approves the review and the release of the hold on the occupancy.
so how do I
So
do that?
either enough of the conditions are completed at the next meeting, July the 9th, so that the board releases the hold, or we're going to wait until the next meeting after that in September to take a review.
No, I definitely get it done by July 9. I'll
Well,
definitely get it.
okay, you'll
I'll
need
get it
to,
before
we
that.
always have a Zoom option, sir, so you're welcome to appear remotely at the meeting. But that's what we'd be looking for, are enough of the conditions satisfied to release the hold for one of the 2 units.
So if I get the occupancy by matter of 3 weeks, and I still can't leave, they have to, somebody got to come and look at it, fine, obviously. They got to come and look at it, so I'm getting the occupancy. The inspectors, they are going to look, so there's got to be final inspection on everything. And then what I'm waiting for.
Okay. So I need to move the meeting along because we spent a long time on your review thus far. I am going to check with any board members as far as their inclination for scheduling the next meeting with this permit holder on July the 9th. How many reviews do we have in July?
We have 4
So this would be number 5,
and two new cases.
2 new cases. Okay. All right. So we have room on the agenda. Does anybody have a motion to make on the continuance of the review?
July 9th, I'll make that motion under ZBA 2022-13. Push the approval of the review out till July 9th, 2024.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. All right. So we'll see you on July 9th. Again, you are welcome to attend via Zoom. But if you want the certificate of occupancy to be released, we're going to have made more progress on these conditions. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Good
Thank
luck.
you, everyone. Have a nice day.
I hope your 3 weeks is true.
My 3 weeks. I
Very optimistic guy.
I have a very big bad. Thank you. Have a
Calling
nice
the
day.
next
You too.
matter, which is ZBA 2022-33, Christopher Cordio, 109 Oak Hill Road. This is a review of a special permit to operate a restaurant under Section 181.313 of the Fitchburg zoning ordinance located in the residential C district. This, was previously known as the St. Joseph's Club. And the permit holder is not here and is not available remotely, correct?
No,
Okay.
it's myself.
So we have a written communication from the permit holder, which I'll read into the record. Dear zoning board members, I am writing this email to request an extension for a review in 1 year for 109 Oak Hill Road. I will be out of town during the next zoning board meeting and did not realize it during the last meeting. As we discussed in the last zoning board meeting, my income depends on the construction industry. With that being said, I am rehabbing the St. Joseph Club with my own private funds. This project is taking longer than expected due to the rising costs in material and labor. We received a significantly higher than expected quote for our sprinkler system and are in the process of getting several additional quotes, as that is one of the first things that needs to be completed. Having an active building permit over the next 6 months will enable us to side the building, work on all electrical and fire alarms, and reconfigure the bathrooms to be handicapped accessible for all to enjoy the Nash Bar and Grill. We have an exciting theme planned for this space that will bring a sense of community back to the neighborhood. We will not only be a bar and grill, but a place where families can rent a function hall and make memories together. We appreciate you taking the time to review this request and assisting us with making our dream come true. We love the city of Fitchburg and believe in its revitalization, despite Mr. Burns' telephone ringing. We feel that through this endeavor, it will be our small part in giving back to the city. If you would like to set up a walkthrough at the end of August or September, I would love to show you where we are with the project at that time. Sincerely, Christopher Cordio. At this time, I am also going to read in the comment from the building department, which is that they have not done any inspections. I had asked for an update on any progress. To review, this special permit was issued on 12/13/2022. We have held reviews on April 11th, 2023, June 13th, 2023, September 12th, 2023, April 9th, 2024. At the last meeting, there was supposed to be a paving and landscaping plan which was to be submitted and a site visit scheduled 1 week prior to the meeting. And I had asked Ms. Mata to reach out on May 29th to ask for these items to be scheduled prior to the June meeting, at which point the applicant stated that he would be asking for another extension. The last activity visible on the building permit was the issuance on July of 2023. An electrical permit was issued on January of 2023. I believe all of the permits are open. Is there any member of the public who wishes to make a comment on this case? I don't believe we have any people online, so no comment there. Any board member wishes to make a comment on this case? Mr. Talbot, I'm going to go to you first this time. Any?
No, thank you.
Mr. Gallagher, any comment?
Yes, I'd like to make a comment, Madam Chair. I was pleasantly surprised when I visited the site that there's a new roof on the main part of the structure, and it improves the overall look of the building tremendously. I also want to note that the parking lot out front was very clean. Although the dumpster was full, it was covered, and I see a vast improvement in the appearance of the overall project. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gallagher. Mr. Reynolds, any comment?
It's just my general belief that an extension would be in the best interest of the property in the city. The question would be, for how long? Thank you.
Mr. Burton?
I'm at a quandary whether or not to pull this permit or not pull this permit. It's been on over 2 years that he's been there. And like he states in his letter to us, he has to make the money before he can put it into the building, so the building stands half done. I'd like to hear some other ideas on it.
Thank you, Mr. Byrne.
All right.
Mr. McLaughlin?
Great idea, great reuse of the property. I just don't know if there is a wherewithal to execute it, because several years into this, and we've just asked for some basic things, kind of stepping stones, and Mr. Cordio just, continually fails to, meet the goals that we keep setting. So I am concerned. Again, well-written letter. I think it's a great idea, but if it's really not funded, is the board going to be having reviews in another 2 or 3 years? So, and there's been a lot of meetings that he hasn't been versus has been. So, do we look at having them come in a couple months and really sit down with a timeline, or maybe a recommendation that, when the project's funded, that we look at it,
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mr. McLaughlin. I think that was very gently put. I too think this would be a wonderful project, executed in the right way, and actually funded and moving towards completion. And like Mr. Gallagher, I was glad to see the roof being replaced. I think last year when we started having the reviews, the permit holder had not been maintaining the property and made a big effort to maintain the exterior. I'm less happy to see construction equipment being stored in the parking lot. And I don't see a lot of indication that this permit holder is actually going to go forward on the project, and I'm going to note 2 conditions that we have. One is that the project be completed by August the 3rd, 2024. That is condition 11. And secondly, what's the second one? Secondly, that we have a sunset clause, so that if Mr. Cordio's plan was to take this project, sell it to another investor, and have another investor work the project to completion, that's not possible. The special permit would lapse at that point in time. I think we're hitting the point of lapse anyway, because we're getting to the point of 2 years after the issuance of, and although we have a building permit that's been issued, I don't really see any activity on it. I want to give business owners in this community every opportunity to start a project, to work a project, to complete it and make it successful. But I don't think that's what's going on here. My inclination would be to schedule this special permit for review at the September meeting, and at that meeting, where we would, I would assume, have a condition broken at that time, because construction will not have been completed by August the 3rd, consider what the remedies should be. I also, if we do get someone to actually move forward with a funded rehabilitation and project here, I do not want a 2-year bar on that person coming forward and taking over the new project or getting a new special permit. So I'd like to take the time between now and then to see if there's any progress, but I am inclined towards some kind of suspension or termination of this permit. Mr. Reynolds, I always welcome your thoughts on another alternative.
In line with what you're saying, in acknowledging that August has no scheduled meeting, I think these comments, all the board's comments, would be better received if the applicant was here versus not here. And going to September, in my opinion, adds more risk. I would suggest that we continue this to July 9th to give the applicant an opportunity to attend, as well as understand that the board's, to hear in person the board's concerns. So I think the board would have a better outcome if we push this to July 9th versus September.
Okay. Thank you for your considered thoughts.
Yep.
Appreciate them. Any other board member have a comment on that continuance issue? Okay.
I
Go
like
ahead.
what Jim says. Yeah, I'm in favor of that as well.
Okay. Then I would be looking for a motion to continue the review to July 9th.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? None. And Ms. Mata, please, if you could communicate to Mr. Cordio that his presence is required at the next meeting. Calling the next review, that is ZBA 2023-10, Lewis Colton, 21 Union Street. This is a review of the special permit under Section 181.94, the Fitchburg zoning ordinance, to reinstate and change the use of a vacant or abandoned building from a church to a single-family dwelling located in residential C. Do we have the permit holder present? No. Do we have a communication from the permit holder? No.
Madam Chair, when Michael and I went out to look at properties, we saw a for sale sign on the property. It's staged for sale, looking in the windows.
Likewise, I saw the same, and upon looking at the real estate listing, noted that it was currently listed for sale for I believe $480,000. But I do want to state that it was listed for sale as a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, which is within the conditions of the special permit. Mr. Zamel, Mr. Commissioner.
So this one is somewhat near and dear to me because it was my very first ZBA meeting that this was on the last time. And it was that ZBA meeting when I brought up, when the applicants were here, that this should be HERS rated, because this was, if you recall, previously a 2-family that then was illegally converted without permits to a church, and then they wanted to convert it back to a single family. We went to the State Building Code Appeals Board, and the Building Code Appeals Board decided that, in what I would argue was a political decision, that they overruled the determination about the HERS rating, but not because I was wrong in reading the building code, but because they stated that due to the fact that it was converted to a church without permits, it was never legally made a church. And so the last legal occupancy of it was a 2-family under the building code. And so because of that, the residential code doesn't require the HERS rating. But had it been legally a church and converted to a single-family house, then it would have required a HERS rating. So the State Building Code Appeals Board decided not to require the HERS rating in this case, and he did pass all of our inspections. He had passed all of our inspections prior to the last hearing as well, and this board, if you remember, was ready to issue their approval when I put the hold on it for that reason. But at this point, they have met all of the requirements from the building inspections, I believe.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. I have some interest in the background facts that I will explore with you at a later date.
Yes.
All right, so looking at the conditions, not to be used as student housing or a lodging house, the roof to be removed and asphalt shingles to be installed, which was completed, new vinyl siding to be installed over existing siding, which there is vinyl siding. Any windows which are not new shall be replaced, as well as new exterior doors. I'm willing to take comment on that. The dwelling shall contain no more than 2.5 baths. Off-street parking to be provided by leasing 2 parking spaces at the train station. And then we had a later condition upon pleading from the permit holder that they were able to install 2 off-street parking spaces. Mr. Commissioner, there was a provision that they were to submit a certified parking plan to the building department depicting the dimensionally compliant spaces and receive all required approvals from the DPW. Was that met?
I'm checking right now.
Okay.
You also need a curb cut.
That's why I wonder about the DPW approval, because I'm not sure how they got it without the curb cut.
So there was a curb cut permit issued for construction of a new driveway on the left of the property. Material used to be asphalt, measurements 30 feet long, 17 feet wide. That it wasn't issued. It's still, I guess, held up since August. But so I don't know if it was actually done or not.
Not done.
It's not done.
It was not done.
The curb's still there.
Okay. So I will check with the engineering department to see where they are with this. But they did apply for the curb cut last August.
Okay.
Question,
Yes, Mr.
Commissioner,
McLaughlin?
and maybe this is DPW. If the sidewalks are concrete, wouldn't the replacement of the sidewalk be concrete as well?
That is a design requirements of the DPW question. So that wouldn't be within my jurisdiction or knowledge to answer.
Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah. Yeah, some towns it's asphalt all the way. Some towns it's not. That's really the city or town DPW rules.
God forbid we raise our standards.
So, does any board member have a comment on a condition other than the curb cut that has not been completed? I'm going to wait a minute.
Well, Michael and I might as well put our findings on the table, too. If you look under the front porch, it looks like every piece of scrap wood that was collected from the project was placed underneath the front porch, and then lattice work was placed over the front of it.
Yeah, it was pretty, actually during our last meeting, I had mentioned it to the applicant. It looks like during construction, a lot of concrete, sheetrock pieces, wood, just general construction material all got pushed under the front porch. What's changed between now and then is they put a little piece of lattice in front of it. I just think that, that should be cleaned out, and brought down to grade, because they packed it all with dirt, debris, and construction material. And not just pull a few pieces of wood out of there, that all that construction debris and, rock and soil all gets taken out and done properly,
Yeah,
I think we kind of have an expectation on somewhat of a level of quality when we have the applicants come in, and just like to see that be taken care of,
I think there's a quality of construction issue on the construction in that, so for instance, we have some basement windows that were boarded up instead of having the windows replaced. We have I was very, very glad to see the 2 off-street parking spaces and have them be paved, and have that roof be replaced, and have the vinyl siding be replaced. I think that was all, I was glad it was done. Not all of it was done to a standard that I would hold, but I was glad that it was done, and it's an improvement over what was there before. This is a meeting that the permit holder requested because we had scheduled a review for March 11th of 2025, and we said they could schedule an earlier review if they believed they were done. And so I'm going to, where we have these issues that I think are a few cleanup issues, I'm going to put it to you, Mr. McLaughlin, whether we should continue to hold the certificate of occupancy until these are done, or whether we should.
I think it's the board's decision, not Mr. McLaughlin.
On it. I would agree with you, but I'm asking your opinion, sir.
Well, my opinion would be yes, till the project's complete, because otherwise, you know, we have a similar situation where occupancy permit was inadvertently issued, and now we're kind of chasing things. So, you know, I don't think the board's asking for a lot, but to have the curb cut done and have under the porch cleaned out, and specifically not just pull a few boards out, but
Bring it to grade, like
dig
you
it out
said.
to grade and properly screen it. And, you know, as we all saw when we visited the property, the whole foundation and all the windows ooze of orange foam. I mean, I'm
I was
sure
gonna,
it
I
meets
was
code,
gonna
but
comment on that.
yeah, we're just,
I would
you
say,
kind of shake your head when you go look at some of these projects,
Shoddy workmanship is unbelievable, terrible.
you know?
but not stingy with the insulation.
No, definitely not stingy with the insulation. It's all over the place.
That's right.
But
So I am with you on the curb cut issue, but can you point to me a condition that would require, that we have in our existing permit, that would require them to remove the debris from under the porch? Because I don't see one.
there isn't.
Yeah.
Well, that's just expectation of a decent job. I mean, they could, now it's covered over with lattice work. But what if they didn't cover it over with lattice work and they left it there? Or they pile it in the middle of the driveway and leave it there? I mean, it's expected to be cleaned up.
I have the same expectation. I'm going to, and I'm just going to check, does anybody here want to make a public comment on this issue? I assume nobody does. I don't see any.
No applicant.
No applicant, and no other written comment from city official. And this will put us up to 11 matters on for July.
Is it recorded?
It is recorded.
Okay. Because again, my fear, it's for sale, it's staged.
There's been an open house.
Yeah.
But there is no certificate of occupancy issued on this yet.
I'm going to,
Number 9.
that'll be, still be number 9. So I'm going to suggest that we continue the review until the meeting on July 9th with a communication to the permit holder that condition number 10 has not been satisfied, and that's regarding the curb cut, and with the request to clean out the building materials from underneath
The front
the
porch.
front porch.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? All right, so that's continued to July 9th. Last review, 479 Water Street, calling ZBA 2023-02 Maitland Ishmael, 479 Water Street, review of the special permit under section 181.3332 to reinstate a vacant or abandoned building from one nonconforming use to another as a duplex located in the neighborhood business district. Is anyone here on this case? Is the permit holder here? Is there any member of the public here who wishes to speak on this case? Okay. So as an update to board members, and I'm going to ask Mr. Commissioner, if you want to correct anything I'm saying, please let me know. We had originally issued this special permit on May 10th, far before that, without a hold on the certificate of occupancy for satisfaction of the conditions. And that was added by modification, and I believe that was during the November 2023 meeting. And subsequent to that, we added the sunset clause where there would be an expiration of the special permit if there was a transfer from the owner prior to issuance of the certificate of occupancy. And I'm just going to say that because we had a modification subsequent to the original decision and a system that is not set up for that at the time was not set up for that. The original decision got recorded at the Registry of Deeds and uploaded to our system, and our inspector went through and made sure to verify all the conditions in the original decision were met. The conditions that were modified and added later on were not available to the building inspector, and thus some of them were not met. But the certificate of occupancy did issue on May the 10th. And I just want to say that the commissioner has undertaken to remedy this situation by creating a new procedure, both in the uploading of modified decisions to the main system, so all will be seen and not just the original. And then secondarily by creating where there is a hold by the board on the certificate of occupancy, a level of online review by the chair prior to issuance of that certificate of occupancy and release by the board. So I want to thank you. It was a situation that nobody intended to happen and everybody tried to, I think, guard against, but there were some holes, and I thank you for working to fix them. But at this point in time, the property has been sold. It was sold, I think, the day after the last meeting, where the permit holder was here. The conditions have not been fully satisfied, and we are holding a $5,000 deposit, and I think we need to decide whether or not the deposit is going to be refunded or not. Did we have any contact from the new property owner? No. Okay. I don't know what happens during the closing, but I know that we are not in control of it. So I am sure if the new owner came, as they normally do, they would say that they were not informed. So,
Madam Chair,
yes.
are you talking like a deposit, like a bond type deposit?
There's a bond that the board is holding, or technically the building department is holding for satisfaction of the conditions and for use for technical assistance if needed. So that is condition number 12, and it states that a $5,000 bond, a deposit was to be issued. It was held in a special account by the treasurer under the direction of the ZBA as compensation for any qualified consultant deployed by the ZBA. Any funds remaining shall be returned to the petitioner or his written assignee upon satisfactory completion of the project in accordance with this special permit, and to the city's general fund forfeit, which means that if it is not satisfactorily completed, that would be forfeited, and actually in clause number 13, the forfeited funds shall be allocated to the building department's demolition fund. And that's if there's not satisfactory completion within 18 months of the filing of the decision with the city clerk. I'm just going to verify the date of filing. Unless Mr. Commissioner beats me to it, of the original decision.
I don't have the date of filing either, but I do have written down to ask the solicitor about this.
I agree that advice would be appropriate. But I am also thinking that we should make a finding onto whether or not the conditions have been satisfied. So, condition number 14, which is the installation of the chain link fence with posts sunk in concrete into the ground along the side of the rear yard between the rear yard and the driveway right of way, has not been satisfied.
A vinyl fence was installed without posts. In other words, vinyl 4x4 covers were actually just set into the blacktop in the middle of the right-of-the-way. That's the second fence they put up. And I think the board had requested a specific chain link fence from the right rear of the corner of the building all the way to the rear retaining wall. The other thing, Madam Chair, is under Phase 3, 7B and C, petitioner shall install landscaping in the front of the building, including plants, shrubs, or trees between the structure and the parking space. They paved that area. And then we had asked that the rear yard be green space for, the residential use, and they paved that as well.
And I think both the lack of the fence and the paving of the backyard go against a particular issue that the board had, which is that the backyard is not to be used for parking. And it's set up so that it can be very easily used for parking.
And primarily because in order to navigate to the rear of the property and leave, you would actually be backing up onto the abutter's property, which was why we accommodated for the 3 parking spaces,
Well,
reduction out front.
I think the other thing that you would see from the right-of-way is that there are so many building pieces intruding on the right-of-way. There is inevitably going to be some damage to one of those buildings because a vehicle is not going to be normally able to pass with ease. So I would agree that the 7B and C have not been satisfied, and we removed 7A as a concession to the permit holder at the last meeting, which was the granite wall. I would be, and then in addition, we had a condition that the special permit would expire if ownership was transferred prior to the issuance of the certificate of occupancy, because that condition was not violated because of the series of events that we've discussed. So I would like at this time to, of course, if any other board member has any comment or discussion they would like to undertake, to do that now, but I'd like to look at the issue of whether we should at least make a finding as to the conditions that have not been met.
In what respect? I thought we just kind of did.
Well, we haven't voted on it, so it's not a finding.
Okay.
it's just discussion. Does any other board member have any comments on that? All right,
So the way it stands now, the applicant still has the opportunity, are we within the 16? Are we within the time frame prescribed?
if we're,
Completion of the work?
if we're within the 18 months, they would still have the opportunity to amend the conditions that were not satisfied.
But if they sold the property,
Sorry.
if they sold the property, though, isn't the special permit sunsetted or no?
It's not sunsetted because the condition stated if they sell before the certificate of occupancy was issued, and it was issued.
Okay.
So the sunset clause terminating the special permit would not apply or would not have been violated,
That was 14, right,
right?
Madam Chair?
That was
Correct? Oh, 15.
15.
Yeah, okay.
condition 15.
So the applicant's still within the prescribed time for completion, correct?
Don't know the answer to that question at the moment.
Okay.
Pardon me for using a computer during meeting time. Okay. July 6, 2023 is the date of filing. So the 18 months have not expired yet. Okay.
Did the applicant indicate they wouldn't be here tonight?
I don't believe we have any communication. No.
Okay.
So what I'd be doing is looking for a motion for a finding, to make a finding that conditions 14, 7B, and 7C are not yet satisfied.
So moved.
Any
Second.
discussion?
No, I think it's pretty, I think the board all made a site visit to kind of come to agreement.
Okay.
You know, the question is, do we give the applicant the opportunity to complete these within the prescribed time, or?
So I would like to make the finding first, and then let's discuss the next step.
Okay,
All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None? So that finding is made, and then I think the appropriate second step would be for the board to seek an opinion as to the resolution regarding determination of the funds from legal counsel for the city. And I would not be inclined to schedule this for further review until such time as we have received such communication.
Sounds good to
Any
me.
objection from a board member? Okay.
And just a comment, Madam Chair, in light that the applicant does inquire, I think at this point, because the applicant has made several attempts to put up a fence that is still way off course from the conditions, that maybe a board member or two meet with the applicant on the site if he wishes to complete them, to make sure he understands, you know, that there's representation from the board that can explain to them what the expectations are.
Okay.
In fairness to the applicant, not continually spending funds in a poor manner.
And I think that we should make a communication to whoever is holding the bond, that the zoning board has a hold on the bond, so if he comes back to claim it, it's not clear to give it back to him.
So it
They
is.
can't be released without me saying, they have to check with me whether they can release that bond.
And very specifically, it's not a bond, it's a deposit of a sum.
Whatever,
Yeah, just to make sure.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
we're not giving him his money back.
So, Mr. Commissioner, if you can let the permit holder know if there's any communication that the board members would be willing to send a member to meet with them on the satisfaction of that condition.
I will pass that communication through Ms. Mata or myself.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's move to the next item on the agenda. This is ZBA 24-18, David and Haley Russo, 488-490 Main Street. This is an application for a special permit under Section 181.313D3 of the Fitchburg Zoning Code to open an HVAC trade school located in the downtown or in-town business district, map 43, block 7, lot 0. Is there an applicant here to speak? All right, welcome to the meeting. You're welcome to sit at the table there. You don't need to stand at the podium. And what I'm going to have you do is each state your name and city of residence for the record.
Okay, David Russo, Drake, Mass.
Thank you.
Haley Russo, Drake and Mass.
Okay, thank you. And while I welcome you both to the meeting, I need at this point to announce that I have an issue which has created a conflict of interest, and I will not be able to participate in this matter. And our good Vice Chair, Mr. McLaughlin, will be taking over until this matter is ended, and I will be in the outside vestibule.
Okay.
Good luck with your application.
Thank you.
Brief recess.
All right,
Michael, take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
5 minutes?
Recess.
Okay.
We'll be right back, folks, in 5 minutes.
2418 David and Haley Russo for 480, 490 Main Street, special permit under 181, 313, Section D3, to open an HVAC trade school located in the downtown in-town business district. How are you this evening?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for seeing us today.
Oh, no problem.
Appreciate it.
If you could, just for the record, I'm going to raise myself up a little bit.
Sure.
So tonight, we have 5 voting members.
Okay.
Okay? And you'll need a super majority for your special permit to carry.
All right.
Okay? What I'm going to do is ask you to tell us a little bit about, the application, and then from there, I'm going to see if there's anybody in the audience that has any questions.
Okay.
I'm going to see if there's anybody virtual that has any questions or comments, and then we'll turn it over to the board, okay?
Perfect.
Great. So
Okay.
please tell us about your endeavor.
Okay, so we currently have a New England Institute of HVAC school. We're located in Lowell, Mass. We've been there 16 years. What we do is we teach unemployed, we teach veterans the skill of HVAC. So, and then after that, it's a 13-week course. We have 2 classes, a day class that runs Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 8 till 3. And then we have an evening class that runs 6 to 9 p.m., Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And it takes 13 weeks in length to complete the course. And then after the completion, we help them get jobs. We have contracts with the VA. We have contracts with all over the state unemployment offices, Mass Hire they're called now. And we also have contracts with the Youth Grant in Lowell, Mass. So we've probably had 2,500 students come through our school so far. So it's great. We help them get jobs. We have former students hiring our current students. And the reason coming out here, I was getting a lot of students traveling from this area, all the way up from Orange and Athol, coming to Lowell. So I was lucky enough to meet Teddy, and he had told me about the building he had. So I went and looked at it, and I'm like, yeah, it's a blue-collar town. I think it'll be a good fit for both the town and us. Not everyone wants to go to college, so, and it's a great trade. They make a lot of money. And I think it's good for both the town and us.
Great.
Yeah, I think it's a win-win.
Great.
Yep.
Thank you for the presentation.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm going to turn it over to the audience. Is there anybody here that would like to speak to this particular application? If so, if you could just come up to the podium, state your name, and say a few words.
Okay. I didn't bring you all the way here to be quiet. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Kenneth Moore. I've been a friend of Dave's for the longest time. He came up with this idea when we were younger, and it's been a great school for a lot of kids. I worked in the city of Lowell. I'm a retired law enforcement officer, and I dealt with a lot of kids, and a couple of them went through his program and have turned their lives around. And I just think that, getting this type of program out here, some of the younger kids, that some of them drop out of school, they need something to push them forward. It's a great trade, I think it's a great program for 13 weeks.
Appreciate it. Just for the record, Moore, you said?
Moore, M-O-O-R-E.
Okay. Got it right.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kenny.
Okay, anybody else in the audience?
I don't have to speak, I'm with
Oh,
you.
okay.
All right, is there anybody virtual that has any comments? All right. I guess time to turn it over to the board. Anybody
Sure, I'll start.
like to go first? Mr. Reynolds?
There you go. 13 weeks, does that mean 13 weeks is like one session?
Yes, correct.
So do you run 4 sessions a year?
We try and do 4, 3 to 4, depending on, the breaks we take.
Sure.
3 to 4 sessions, yep.
3 to 4, right. So 13 weeks is basically a quarter, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yep.
that's
We
kinda
take
how
a
it
week
works?
off in between classes, usually,
holidays.
and holidays, Christmas break, New Year's.
So you've got a a day, you said it was 8 to 3 and then 6 to 9?
Yes.
Is that the same people coming at the same time, or are those different people at different times?
No, they're two different programs. So you can either sign up for the day program or you can sign up for the evening program.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. And for the times that you're not having classes, what do you see happening with the building? People there, people not there?
Not there, no. Unless he's doing extra help. You know, we offer extra help on the weekends if as needed. You know, some students need extra help, though. We'll come in on Saturday and help them, or Friday. But other than that, no, the building won't be used.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
And there's plenty of parking across the street, which is
Yeah.
very nice. I'm excited about that.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome. Mr. Byrne?
Welcome to Fitchburg.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's great to be here.
How many instructors do you have, do you employ?
4,
There's 4.
yes.
And how many admin people?
Just my daughter.
One woman.
Yeah, my daughter, yep, that's it.
Handles it all.
Yep.
Usually the case. And what's the average class size?
That's a good question. Anywhere from 10 to 15 is the average we do. Yep, 10 to 15. We have 15 currently, day and night. And then
How do you track your students?
how do we track them?
How do you attract?
Attract them. Oh, that's good. A lot of Facebook advertising, and like we have a website, newenglandhvac.com. You can all check it out. Facebook, she does a lot of advertising through Facebook. Word of mouth, a lot of word of mouth. And like I said, we have contracts with the Career Center. So I think the nearest one here is Leominster Career Center. So we have contracts throughout the whole state. So they recommend our program to potential clients also.
Every now and then, I let a little bit of my personal life slip out here on this on this board. But when I retired from the Army, my first job when I got out, I was a recruiter for ATI Woburn.
Oh, I went to school there.
And
I did.
that's why I asked you how you got your class there. So
Yeah.
I worked there for approximately six months until I bought my first insurance agency.
Oh, wow. Small world, huh?
Yep, it is.
Yep. Cummings Park in Woburn, I was there. Yeah.
I wish you luck.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's,
Like I
I'm
say,
very excited.
Welcome to Fitchburg.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good fit.
I think it will, and then, the college is right down the road too. So, if kids find out that's not for them.
A lot of kids don't want to go to college.
Exactly.
And they
Yeah.
need another avenue of education.
Right,
Education
exactly.
is freedom, so
Yep, absolutely, 100%.
can't take it away from you.
Nope, that's for sure.
Okay, Mike, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Commissioner, you have some questions of the applicant?
Just wanted to more make a comment on this. I just wanted to more make a comment on this.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if you know this, but Monty Tech, our local
Yep.
vocational school, is in the process of doing a build-out up on Westminster Road, where they're creating a pilot program that's going to be one of the first in the state for high school juniors and seniors to learn trades as well. That's outside of the vocational education program for kids in the public high school. And they're specifically looking at plumbing, electrical, and carpentry, I believe, for that program.
Yep.
But that this project and being in the downtown kind of fits in with that trajectory that Monty Tech is also doing to try to bring industrial and trades education to our area. So I just wanted to kind of make you and the board aware that there's that program as well that's coming, and this fits in with kind of that trajectory.
Oh, very good.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Gallagher.
Once again, welcome to Fitchburg.
Thank you.
You had mentioned that you're going to be bringing in some new instructors, or?
Oh, I have my current instructors. One of my current instructors is coming down here, and I have another one I'm training currently as we speak. He's actually working tonight. So I'm hoping 2 down here and then 2 in Lowell. That's all I need.
Okay.
And they do day and night. They both instructors, they teach day and night.
And how long has the Lowell School been open?
16 years. We opened in 2008.
So It sounds like you've been a success in Lowell.
Yeah, it's been great, yeah. Yeah, I encourage you all, check out the website on Facebook. We're like reviewed very highly, you know, we actually care about everyone that comes through the doors, you know, because there's only us. So I don't have
Well, I
administrators,
certainly get that
recruiters,
vibe
and all
from you
that.
folks, so
Yeah,
I think it's great, and I think
Yeah.
it's a great service to the
thank you.
city, so
Yeah, I
good
do
luck.
also.
Yep,
Thank you.
thank you.
Mr. Talbot?
No questions, but great business idea.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome to Fitchburg.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you.
We're excited.
Yeah. Couple questions?
Yes,
There was a restaurant in there prior, correct?
correct, yes.
And it looked like it encompassed 2 storefronts. Are you going to utilize both?
No, we're only going to use the left side eventually. I'd like to do an electrician program on the opposite side, down the road, but no, with just that one side.
Okay. I guess I'm going to be presumptuous and say welcome to Fitchburg as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Been here a long time. Main Street has struggled.
Yes,
A lot of the facades do not look good in the
right.
city. Tell me about what's going to happen to the front of the.
Oh, I want to put some nice digital signage in the windows and maybe a sign up top if that's okay. I haven't talked to the zoning board. Well, I don't know if it's you people. Yeah, right, yeah. You know, I like a sign. There used to be a sign on top of the building. There's electrical up there for one, so. And then some storefront, you know, clean up the storefront, and the front of it, obviously, where the 2 windows are. One of them has a broken glass right now. We'll fix that, put some signage in there, maybe a display, right, you were talking about? So,
Is it going to be repainted to a more neutral kind of color?
oh, inside, definitely, yeah.
Both sides?
Right now, it's
I guess I'm kind of looking over your shoulder at the
Yeah.
property owner as well.
Yeah. Ted?
We're planning on doing all the windows and the front.
So both storefronts?
Yeah, I'd like it to look nice, obviously, I want it to look good, you know? Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
He's very flashy.
Yeah, I want it to look nice, I want to attract students, right? You know, it
Yeah.
can't be
Yeah.
you know, an eyesore, correct?
Just a couple of points. Unless the zoning has changed, I don't believe we allow any flashing or scrolling lights without a permit, right?
Flashing?
Yeah.
Are you using flashing lights?
Oh, I meant like a neon light, just
Yeah.
doesn't flash, just.
Neon lights, I don't believe are allowed either.
Okay, all right. Well, there goes my dream.
No cool
Yeah.
retro neon lights?
Yeah, they're cool. I'll show you a
It
picture.
depends.
Yeah.
It depends.
Yeah,
Because I believe we have the Barcade and stuff that may have some as well coming in.
Anyway, I guess I'm just trying to envision, I think everybody thinks it's a great use, right?
Yep.
It's a great service. There is a great need out there to get people into the trades.
absolutely. Yes, 100%. Yeah,
It really is.
yep.
So just tell me a little bit about the window dressing, because, you know, Main Streets are kind of typically a retail/restaurant type. What's your window dressing?
On the front of the building you're
Yeah.
talking about? Well, like I said, I wish I could show you a picture
We
of
have
that.
our logo.
Yeah, that's our logo. It's like it's not
It's an outline of New England with just our name.
Okay, great.
Around it.
Awesome.
That's our go-to logo, so that's one that we would be putting in the window.
Yeah.
It just
And
says
then,
New England HVAC.
and then this guy in the back, I like him too. We call him Dudley right here, this one. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Those are our logos that we use everywhere.
So I like maybe one in each window would be nice, with New England Institute, a nice sign, it doesn't have to be flashy, but School of HVAC or something like that on the top.
Yeah.
Would be
We
good.
want it to feel prestigious too for people who come in.
Yeah,
And we want it to feel like you're entering into a school.
great.
Yep. Yeah, so,
So professional sign, no vinyl.
oh, no,
vinyl
no
banners.
black markers, nothing like that. No, all professional, absolutely.
Awesome,
Yep.
great. All the questions I have. Any other questions of board members? I guess before, Commissioner has comment, question, or?
Just as a note on the window dressing piece, you likely will have to get a sign permit
Yeah.
from us for the signage. So you may, depending on what's proposed, you may end up having to come back here for a special permit for the signage.
Okay.
Or not.
Okay.
So we'll work with you on that. There
Okay.
are certain requirements that are allowed as of right, certain ones that require special permits, so.
Okay. Fair enough.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. Comments, questions? Any other input?
No, I'm just ready to get going.
So just making some quick notes. 8 to 3, one course, 6 to 9.
Yes.
And
Tuesday,
alternate
Wednesday.
days? Like what, your
No,
hours of
Tuesday, Wednesday.
operation, are they Sunday through Saturday? Are they Sunday through
So
Monday?
they're just, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay.
So the day course will meet from 8 to 3, and then what usually happens is, instructors leave for a couple of hours, go home, they come back. The night students come in from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Aha. 3 days a week, because it'll be
Yes.
3 days a week at the other.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, right.
Yes.
Well, we both know, both schools are going to do the same schedule, We're just going to start one, like the next one in Lowell's September, I'm hoping, for Fitchburg,
October.
October. Well, that's what we're hoping.
Okay.
That's our goal.
Does the
Yeah.
board need any conditions, or would they like any conditions
I can't think of any.
as far as a review period, hours of operation, anything?
Well, if they have any problems, once they get started, they could always request to come back and see us, talk to Mercedes, and get a position to come before the board.
Okay. Perfect. Review, 1 year, none?
One.
1 year.
It works.
Okay, so I guess we just have one condition, 1 year review.
Okay?
Sunset clause, yes?
Good idea.
We have 2.
What's a
Great.
sunset clause? I don't know what that is.
What
He
sun-
doesn't know what a sunset clause is.
What is it?
Sunset clause is any permits that were issued to you. If you sell the business or subcontract it to another entity, you have to come back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all right.
It's just we're
Yeah.
issuing the permit to
Yeah,
you.
that makes,
Got it.
that makes
Yep.
sense, yeah, okay.
Great.
Fair enough.
Okay, I guess close and deliberate, speak to special permit criteria,
Sure.
so, any comments, Jim?
Short answer is I'm in favor. Let's look at the criteria and get it down. But this seems like a really good use of the building.
Okay.
And if you guys have, I'm sorry, but,
Bear with.
We're closed.
Closed.
Yeah.
okay. My time is up.
No, it's not up.
Yeah.
It's a good use for the parking garage, too.
Okay.
Because people won't be parking out there on the street, they'll be parking in the parking garage.
Yes, sir. Anything else?
I like the idea. I'm all for it.
Okay. Mr. Gallagher?
Yeah, I like the idea a lot, but I really don't have anything more to add to it, other than let's make it happen for them.
Mr. Talbot?
Likewise.
Great. I myself completely in favor. I think it meets the criteria under 181-942, which is, just a list of criteria with regards to, granting a special permit. So if I could have a motion, and I think the only conditions are 1 year review and sunset clause.
Check.
Perfect.
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
Motion
you.
carries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Look
Appreciate
forward to seeing you again soon.
Appreciate you coming in.
Thanks, Kenny.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you familiar with the process from here?
No, I don't.
Okay. Come on up.
Really? Should I sit down again?
No. Just want to make sure you're
He said,
fully
"Come on
informed.
up," is
So,
what he said. Go up.
we have to write the decision, right? So that's going to take some time,
Okay.
a week or so, 2 weeks. And then, once the decision has been written, okay, there's an appeal period, right? In the event that it's a different situation where abutters or people don't agree, 20-day appeal period. And then after that, you can just go down to see Mercedes. We'll guide you through the process with the building department, and we'll get you up and going.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate all your time.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, looking forward to
So
Have a good evening.
You as well, thank you.
Yeah.
while you're waiting,
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
just keep calling Mercedes to find out where you're
Oh,
at.
Mercedes?
Yeah,
I
her and
call
me
her.
are good friends already.
I call Mercedes all the time. She's like, what? You again?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your time. Have a great day.
Two.
Right. Thank you, Mr. McLaughlin. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
We're going to move on to the next matter, which is ZBA 24-19, Marcus Di Natale, 471 Mount Elam Road. This is an application for a special permit under Section 181.335 and 181.416 of the Fitchburg zoning code to demolish an existing 12 by 14 deck and build a new 16 by 20 deck attached to a single-family dwelling, encroaching upon the minimum rear yard setback of 35 feet, leaving an approximately 29-foot rear yard setback located in the residential A district. Sir, welcome to our meeting.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
So we have a deck that's existing on the back of your house that is 12 by 14. And that existing deck was allowed through a variance that was granted previously a number of years back by this board. Upon looking at the application to take that deck and extend it out a little bit, I believe the zoning requirements changed a bit in the meantime. Or you started out with a grandfathered lot because your lot is non-conforming, the structure is non-conforming because you have an undersized lot. Not sure about the frontage, that's questionable, it's borderline, but it is undersized lot. When you have a single-family home that is non-conforming, we can use the special permit procedure rather than the variance procedure in order to increase a nonconformity under the terms of the zoning ordinance. And so that's just a little explanation of why you are here under a special permit rather than here under another variance or a modification of the variance you had. So that being said, could you please give us a little description of the project and what you'd like to do?
Certainly. So, as you stated, Madam Chair, 10 years ago, we were before the board for a variance to make the existing deck the 12 by 14 that stands right now. The house was built 11 years ago when the deck was built. The initial plan was to do a 12 by 12, but we wanted it a little bit bigger. And about 10 years later, to the present date, we would like to make it slightly larger, a 16 by 20, and fully demolish it and resurrect it as a more upgraded materials. So your AZEK, TimberTech, Trek, floorboards, composite balusters and railings, the whole 9 yards. So we're not fans anymore of the pressure-treated wood. There was also some comments made by several contractors we had come to the site to quote the job that the deck, they felt, in their opinion, wasn't very stable or well constructed initially because, as you saw it, there's only 2 footings in the back. And if you literally stand on the deck, grab the railing, and I'm a big guy, I mean, you could move it. Yeah. And the wood is splitting at the bottom. So it's just an improvement project we want to do. We want to make it a little bit larger to have some furniture there and to have guests, and also better material so I don't have to worry about maintenance, because it is taxing every year to take care of it and keep it up. So that in a nutshell is it. We're just looking to tear it down, erect a slightly larger one with a lot better materials so it will last probably longer than we'll be living there, and I don't have to worry about it. And we can use it. Right now, we're not using the existing deck. We refuse to right now.
Definitely with a safety issue, you don't.
Yes.
Especially where the deck is a story high.
Yes.
So, is there going to be a roof? It's proposed to be a covered deck or an uncovered deck?
Nope, no roof.
Okay. And right now there is a landing on the side with stairs that extend down.
Yes.
And that protrudes. We have a set of 15 feet for the side yard setback. Will that protrude into the side yard setback to reduce it below 15 feet?
No, it should be between roughly 16, 17 feet still once that's done.
Okay.
And the plans I submitted to the board initially through Ms. Mata had the stairs in the back going down this way. But because of wetland restrictions, I was before Concom last week. I got unanimous approval from them to proceed as long as I delineate with a silt fence or a straw wattle the line. But if I were to put the stairs where I initially gave them to your plans, it would have landed at the bottom right in the wetland buffer zone. So my contractor strongly suggested that we just keep the stairs where they currently are to avoid that issue with Concom, and Concom was appreciative because they were going to have an issue with that. So deck's going to be the same as what it is now, just 2 feet longer towards the backyard, and then 1 foot more on the left and the right to make it the 16 by 20.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to move to public comment now. Is there any person here that would like to make a comment on this application? And we have no persons online. All right. Mr. Commissioner, any comment on this application?
No, I know early on you and I had conversations about whether this should be a variance or a special permit. And I felt, and I gave you that rationale to allow for the special permit instead of the higher bar of the variance for this situation, given my reading of the zoning ordinance. So that's just the procedural history on this that, as you said earlier, and I just wanted to just be clear that I felt it should be a special permit, not a variance on this.
No, I agree. I think this is a modification of a single-family, pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling. So I think we're well within the provisions of 181.335 in order to consider it under the special permit criteria. Given the completeness of the application, and I appreciate the completeness of the application that was given to us, I'm just going to see if there's any board member that wants to ask a question of the applicant. Okay. Any board member that wants to make a comment on this application?
Me.
Okay.
I visited the site this afternoon and looked at the current condition of what you're dealing with there, and I agree that it's probably a safety issue. I think overall the expansion that you're looking at is more appropriate for what you have in terms of square footage, and I look at it as an improvement to the neighborhood to see something that's more in proportion with the size of your home, so I am in favor of it.
Thank you.
And I'm just, because we have the criteria to respond to, I'm just going to ask you to respond to the criteria, which are, in this particular situation, we must find that the proposed modification will not be substantially more detrimental than the existing non-conforming structure to the neighborhood. Could you address that?
Not at all, in terms of being detrimental. To expand on Mr. Gallagher's statements, my two neighbors to my left and right, Ms. Gonda and the Allens, they were thrilled to hear that we were improving the space. The deck does look kind of a little bit like an eyesore from the outside. So they were glad to see it being done, hopefully, and no, not detrimental at all. In fact, it will be more safe, more appealing to people who want to visit. My contractor has assured me that there will be several more footings put in to stabilize the deck, and not just the two that you saw there that were at the maximum level of space out. So it met the code, but right on the line. So no, to answer your question, no, there's no detrimental impact. Nope.
And I would agree that having a safe structure will be of benefit to the neighborhood, as there will be no emergency collapses. And I think the extension of 2 additional feet into the rear yard does not create any substantial detriment to the neighborhood, especially given the landscaping of the undeveloped land that you have behind you. All right, I am going to close the public hearing on this matter unless you have any other comments you would like to.
Just, I know the board's always interested in when things are going to get done and what the plan is. So the plan is, once the 20-day appeal period goes through, if you are so inclined to approve this, my contractor's looking to get started after 4th of July, middle of July, if he can, by pulling the necessary permits with the building office. So I'm hoping to have this project begin in July and be done by end of July, early August, or my wife will not be happy. So, because she wants that deck done and she wants to use it, and so trust me, if you don't want to listen to what I'm saying, rest assured she will ensure it's done by August.
I am sure that having an inauguration of the deck in November is not what the family plan is. So. All right, I am going to then close the public hearing without objection, and we'll move to deliberation on the application. Does anyone want to make a comment on the application, indication for?
Yeah, it just seems like it meets all the criteria, and it is something that I think we should approve.
Okay.
I'm fine with it.
All right. Anyone on my right of the table? Mr. McLaughlin?
Meets the criteria under 181.33, specifically under 181.333.
I would put this under 335 as it is a single-family home,
Sure, 335 as well.
but yes. I agree that it meets the criteria. I do not think there will be, if there is any detriment in the extension of the structure by 2 feet, it is surely outweighed by the increased safety of the built structure and is not detrimental to the neighborhood. And so I would be in favor of allowing this application. I'd be looking for a motion.
Make the motion.
Unless, and the proposal of any conditions, if anyone has conditions to propose. Then I'd be looking for a motion.
Make the motion under ZBA 2024-19 to grant the special permit as requested, with the plan as submitted for 471 Mount Elam Road.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? The application is granted. Mr. DiNatale, there will be a condition in your special permit that states that you are subject to recall at the board for review at any point in time, but you will not have a fixed review date, nor will you have any certificates held prior to the board's review, as we have no conditions. But I would caution you, because the relief granted is for a specific measurement of that deck, to be very sure that the measurement is accurate and further relief is not needed from the board because it was put in the wrong place. So,
Got it.
I think having, making sure that the building department verifies is a good idea. And any other suggestion you
I would ask, even though we would require it as part of our administrative provisions, I know that the board already voted, but a sealed as-built plan for this before we can issue the letter of completion on this.
Okay.
We would require it administratively anyway. It's part of our protocol that anything that's even remotely close, and how I define remotely close is within 5 feet of any of the setbacks, is going to require a foundation as-built anyway.
So I'm going to ask, just because, do you find it necessary or advisable that the board do this if the building department will require it?
It's not necessary. It's more just for transparency. I'm saying
Okay.
so that it's known that this will be required, so it's not surprise at the end.
So I'm going to ask the maker of the motion, that's you, Mr. McLaughlin, to make a motion for reconsideration of the special permit allowance for amendment with the condition.
Okay.
All right. Do we have a, thank you. So the proposed motion as amended would be to allow the special permit with one condition, that an as-built plan be submitted to the building department upon completion of the project and prior to the building department issuing its own certificate of completion. As amended, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? As amended, good luck with the project.
Thank you. Thank you, board members.
All right.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Calling the next matter, which is ZBA 24-30, Sherry Moyen, 26 Burnap Street. This is a request for a special permit under Section 181.335 and 181.416 of the Fitchburg Zoning Code to erect a farmer's porch to the front and side of the pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling, encroaching on the current front setback from 17 feet plus or minus, leaving approximately 10 feet where the minimum required front yard setback is 30 feet, located in the residential A district. And I assume you are Ms. Moyen.
Yes,
Welcome to the meeting.
thank you.
And because you are Ms. Moyen, I assume that you reside in Fitchburg.
Yes, I do.
Very good. All right. So I do understand that this started because there was a building project that was started without the appropriate permits.
Yes.
Can you tell us just a little bit about how that happened?
Yes, this has been a learning process for sure. And the building commissioner has been very, very helpful. So we hired someone, and in our contract, it said explicitly he was supposed to pull all of the permits. He told us he did. Unfortunately, he did not, and ultimately, someone visited us and let us know that the permits hadn't been pulled and that the work had to stop. We had them stop immediately, and we tried to get our contractor to work with the city to get all the paperwork in line. Ultimately, we ended up jumping in because it wasn't getting done, and so we ended up. My application was not as thorough, I'm sure, as his. But we want to be in compliance. Is it okay to explain the work, or do you want me to wait?
I just want to finish this subject before we move on to the project.
Okay.
Is this person a licensed contractor?
Yes, he is, yes.
Okay. Did you file a complaint against his license?
I did not.
Is he a licensed home improvement contractor, HIC, that is registered with the state?
I believe he is. I believe so.
So our job is not to penalize contractors who don't follow their permitting requirements, but I just want to be sure people are aware that the contractor should have undertaken to pull a permit to do that kind of work in any community within the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So it gives me concern that this person is operating with a license, but either without that knowledge or choosing to ignore the permitting requirements.
Madam Chair?
In just a minute, sir. And I do want to make sure that when we have work done in the city, that it's done by persons who are going to do their job in a good and workmanlike manner under the requirements of the code, which include pulling a building permit. And should you have any cause to be unhappy with this gentleman's work, that the state does provide remedies for such unhappiness.
Okay, thank you. Understood.
Mr. Commissioner, I'm going to go ahead and let you make a comment.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to comment that a couple of things. This project has been a learning curve for our department as well, because it showed us some of the flaws within our city C-Click Fix system, where one inspector was handling this because the complaint on C-Click Fix came to one address, and then unbeknownst to us, there was another complaint that came in using a different address, and a different inspector was assigned to it. And we ended up and it appeared that the first inspector was working with the contractor and in communication with the contractor, but he was out for personal reasons and hadn't communicated to the second inspector because it was a different address listed on SeeClickFix. So we've been working on ways to avoid that in the future, so that the communication is a little bit better intradepartmentally on that issue. That being said, we have yet to receive the permit application. And I did check, this contractor does have his CSL and his HIC currently valid within the Commonwealth. And he has an application for a different project that is also a deck that I've gone through multiple back and forth with this particular contractor. The most recent was a hand sketch that's very challenging to follow of a proposed deck that we're not accepting because it doesn't include even close to the amount of connection details that are required for this kind of deck for a different property. So, but just so that you know, Ms. Moyen and I have been in communication with each other. She actually, she worked very closely with us, and I have to give props to Ms. Mata on this, because of the issues where we had thought that the contractor was submitting the application, and our posting deadline for the legal ads, Ms. Mata extended the deadline and really, in many ways, moved heaven and earth to make sure that Ms. Moyen was able to get on the agenda for today, so that it didn't have to wait until next month for the special permit, and delaying the project even further. And so I have to say thank you to Ms. Mata for making that happen for this case. She really goes above and beyond to try to help people, and where this project has had so many bumps in the road, she really made it possible to try to get us to here and try to provide as smooth of a process as possible with this.
Well, I think that is high praise, Ms. Mata, but
and on the
also very well deserved. And Ms. Moyen, I would say also would owe a debt of gratitude to making sure the publication happened. Without the publication, even if we want to hold the meeting, we can't.
Yes.
So thank you very much for making sure this could move forward.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for taking care of our listeners.
And I'm just going to ask, is the contractor acting under their own license? Have you been able to verify that, or are they using the license of another?
They haven't applied for the permit from what I can see. But I can say for the other properties, the contractor is working under their own license.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
All right. So just to note in the future, any building project is going to require a building permit. And when a building permit is issued, it's this big piece of paper that they have to stick in the front window. So if it's not there, there's no permit. But let us move on and look at the project that you want to do. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Okay. So we've owned our home for over 20 years. And in the front of the house, we had 2 holly bushes and another kind of bush that, even though we had them trimmed over time, were growing just much too wide and tall. And so it's difficult to exit the front door. Plus, in front of the front door, we had a cement and brick, a large landing, and then a few steps down. And those were deteriorating. They'd been there since prior to us buying the house. So we knew we needed to invest in the front of the house and either replace the stairs, do something. And so we'd always wanted a farmer's porch. So we had a contractor come out and scope out the project for us. We also wanted to have a little bit of a roof over the front, just because of the rain and the elements, and when we have packages delivered and things like that, it won't be a sitting area. It's just to leave a little room in the front. And so that's why we wanted to do this project. We're hoping this will, improve the appearance of the house. It was 17 feet to the dwelling, to the house. So we did have these stairs in the front before. Those were removed before the project was started. And so now this deck is 6 feet deep, and the length of the house, at least the length of the house, it goes a little further over because it'll wrap around to the other side.
And on the other side, it's 12 feet wide,
Yes.
according to the plan.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And
Yeah.
23 feet going back, and then a little bit wider at the end where it meets.
That's where the stairs, yes, that's where the stairs will go. There's an entrance there as well, and those stairs are not ideal. They've been there, again, since we bought the house. Someone poured concrete over them at one point to stabilize them, but there's not a railing, and it's an odd way to enter the house.
And you're going to put a roof over this porch?
Not on the side, only on the front. It's
Okay.
just really for the front.
So is the roof going to run the entire length of the building?
Just the length of the building, yes, not the additional 12 feet.
And I'm trying to work with what you've submitted.
Yeah, sorry.
Can you give us a sense of what the visual is going to be like? So you have an existing roof on your building, and the front
Yes.
is this part, right?
Yes, and so that addition, there's a small mudroom on the side, and so it has, a shorter roof than the rest of the house. And so the roof line will go with that.
Okay.
So it'll look appropriate on the house.
So it'll be a pitch roof that is added on and runs along the length of the house?
Yes.
About midway-ish between, underneath the window?
Yes.
Are you going to in any way enclose the porch?
No. Well, it will have, so it will be made of like a Trex decking. It will have vinyl, it'll be finished where it'll have vinyl in the front, underneath, and then the ceiling as well. And it'll have railings, yes.
Okay. And if I said they're simple spoke-style railings?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, try to match, the house is kind of like a colonial, and so to try to match that style.
Eventually you'll paint you'll paint the railings?
No, they'll be vinyl.
Oh, they'll be vinyl
Yes.
as well? Okay.
Yes, nothing will have to be painted. It'll be vinyl underneath, to make it look nice finished underneath, and the ceiling where there is a roof.
And will you have stairs coming out of the front
Yes.
porch?
Yes, and so I did check with the contractor today because I was trying to make sure the measurements were accurate. And he did say that if he needed to, he feels he could change the stairs in the front so that it's not 4 feet, 4 feet extension. He thinks he could save 2 feet if he needed to, but he didn't think it would make a big difference in the application. But I don't know either way.
Are the steps going to be covered by the roof or uncovered?
Uncovered.
Okay.
They're exempt.
Yep. If they're uncovered, they're exempt. You don't have to worry about them
okay.
extending out.
Okay.
If they're covered, then they are not exempt.
Okay, so that must be why our old stairs were not part of the measurements. Okay, because they were not covered.
So you had submitted kind of a hand drawing on a
Yes.
mortgage plot plan. Do you have any other, I know this is kind of half-built, so we're able to see at
Yeah.
least some visual of it. Did you have any other plans that had been drawn of what the construction is going to look like?
No, it was all verbiage, in the quote. I did offer to hire and ask the contractor, should I hire a surveyor to come out? I'm not familiar with this process, and I was willing to do that if it's helpful. Because, I'm not, this is not my forte.
Okay. All right. I probably have other comments, but I think at this point I'm going to go to public comment and board questions.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you want to add before I do that?
No, just thank you for considering this.
Okay, thanks. Does anyone here wish to make any comment on this application? Okay. And once again, we have nobody online. Okay. So I'm going to go to board members. Mr. Talbot, would you like to
I have no questions.
No questions? Mr. Gallagher, any questions?
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you. If you were to get your special permit tonight, what's the time frame you'd be looking at for completion?
So my understanding is I'd probably be waiting 30 days, right, because of the appeal process? Okay, so I'll be honest with the contractor. I believe that will be available in the 30 days and should be able to get right to work and he should only take a few weeks to finish. But it has taken longer than expected, even without factoring in the permit process.
So what date would that bring us to?
I think it should be done, because that brings us into July for him to start. I'd feel comfortable saying it should be done by the end of August. I can't imagine it would take longer than that. I don't see any reason.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Mr. Reynolds?
No questions.
Mr. Byrne?
Nothing.
Mr. McLaughlin?
No questions.
Okay. I don't have any concern about the extension on the side of the house because you're well within the setbacks there.
Yes.
That's not anything that we need to concern ourselves with. It's only the front extension that we do. I took a look around the neighborhood at other properties, and I did see a few that extended into that 30-foot setback. I don't think any is as far as your proposal, at least in the immediate neighborhood. But there were definitely some 20-foot setbacks, some 15-foot setbacks there. The other concern that I have is I want to make sure that this does not turn into additional dwelling space. So I don't want it in the future to be enclosed and become a room.
Yep.
So I'm thinking that some conditions are in order for that to make sure that it stays unenclosed. And then when we grant relief, you probably just heard, we grant relief for a specific measurement.
Yes.
And you will need to make sure that you are in the right measurement there. And I think that, especially where we have accepted a hand-drawn plan from you, an as-built plan being produced afterwards, as with the last applicant, is something that would be appropriate, and that the style of the roof line should remain in keeping with the building. Just to ask, because I was curious, you had some wire mesh structure that was on the side of your garage in the back.
It's a garden.
Oh, is it it's to keep the pests out of? Just
yeah, we actually don't use it as much anymore. There was a door on it as well because they just find a way in. But we thought that would work, and it did for a couple of years, but they still find a way in.
Yes.
And we are actually we're going to take the mesh off and get rid of it because there's no point.
Okay, very good. All right, if there's no other questions or comments for the applicant, I am going to close the public hearing. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Wait 1 second.
Okay, Mr. Byrne, go ahead.
I'm concerned. Can you answer one question for me? Why did your contractor start a project without a building permit?
The answer that I got was that he thought that this is what he does in other locations, and he just files for the permit before he needs the inspection. That was the answer that was given to me. Did
you find it embarrassing when
Yes.
when the building department came up and gave you a
Yes.
stop order?
Yes, I did. Yes.
I think it would be in your best interest to put a complaint against this guy for the simple reason that if he thinks he can get away with it with you, he can get away with it from somebody else. And he can easily slip by because sometimes nobody reports it. And there is revenue to the city because of permits like that. So it is better for you to think about putting in a complaint, okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, and I would also say it's just better not to run the risk of any of the fining with the city. Mr. Commissioner?
Just as a note, somewhat on that vein, our city ordinance does allow for us to issue I won't call it fines, but additional fees for work started without a permit, and it sets it up for a second, third offense. And we will be assessing it on this. I just want you to be aware so that he doesn't pass that cost off to you.
Okay.
So just make sure. And what Mr. Byrne and Chairwoman Tree were talking about, there are two different pathways for filing complaints because there's two different quote-unquote licenses in play. His construction supervisor's license, which is his builder's license and kind of the lifeblood of the project, that is done through the Office of Public Safety and Inspections. And that is, you need a denial letter from me, which I believe you already have the notification from us to file that appeal. And I believe there's a timeline on when you can do that. The other one that's more of a consumer protection one is the Home Improvement Contractor Guarantee Fund and Home Improvement Contractor Arbitration Program. If he decides not to do the work, you can take him to arbitration. You can also seek damages if you had to hire a lawyer, for example, for this hearing. You could have potentially obtained damages through the Guarantee Fund, the Guarantee Trust, to pay for that. And those are more also public records that go against this person's license. So that's what the board members were talking about as the two kind of pathways. And just as a note, he still has not applied for that building permit.
See?
For the permit for this project? Or the other project you were?
No, for this one. Let me just confirm it because it wasn't under that license number. Sorry. He has applied for this building permit, and we issued the denial letter.
Yes.
Because he, let me just confirm.
He did apply for it, but he didn't follow all of the instructions.
He didn't give us a design plan
Yes.
for this deck. So, which is a basic 101 requirement.
I think he didn't complete the special permit application either. He just did the form of intent, I want to say.
Let me see, because
we
he has a
have at
couple of
least
email addresses.
Some special permit application, but normally, like I had made a comment, normally we're going to see something that's more in the line of a plan.
Yes.
He has not filed a special permit application, nor is, it'll show me if he started a draft.
Right.
And he doesn't even show a draft started.
Right. And that's why we stepped in and submitted something, because we wanted to make sure something moved forward. If we had to take the entire deck down that's there now, we wanted to, just get in compliance one way or the other.
He needs a slap in the hand.
I know, I want him to finish the project. So I'm a
the
little torn right now.
The position you're in is that it's difficult to get a contractor right now who's available to do the work, and you have somebody who is allegedly going to do the work, so it's hard to move on to that, to somebody else.
And I've already paid half of the cost, so.
That guarantee could help you
Yeah.
out if that were the case, as could the arbitration program if he walked away from the project.
So I would just be aware of your resources and be wary of the contractor that you're using and make sure you are well protected.
And if he gives you a hard time, you always have the building commissioner to go to.
Yes, yes, or send Mr. Byrne over there, he'll be happy.
That's true.
Okay. And would you say, once the cease and desist was issued, was there any delay between that point in time and the action of the applicant in submitting the application?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. And I don't know if, I don't recall if the building inspector actually posted a cease and desist on this, because hours after the inspector showed up, I was already hearing from Ms. Moyen.
Okay. Thank you for taking swift action to remedy the problem.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, I am now going to close the hearing, and we'll move to deliberation without objection. Does any board member want to make a comment or suggest whether this should be allowed, and if so, whether there should be any conditions?
I think a review in August would be appropriate. Sorry, September. August is a no-fly zone, right?
You would be here alone, Mr. Reynolds. So review in September. Mr. Byrne? Anything? Mr. Talbot?
Nope.
Mr. Gallagher?
I'm all set, thank
Miss-
you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Mr. McLaughlin?
No, ma'am, if other board members like to have a review in September, I'm okay with that.
So I'm just going to review the conditions that I mentioned. So the front setback would be reduced to 10 feet. So again, that means you need to be very careful about your measurements.
Yeah.
The roof shall be in keeping with the style of the primary residence. The porch shall not be enclosed. The applicant shall submit an as-built plan to the building department prior to receiving a certificate of completion. And you shall be scheduled for a review hearing at the September meeting, which is September something. 10? September 10, 2024. And you will see an agenda posted with the time of your particular hearing, always on a Tuesday. May I have a motion with those conditions?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Do we need to speak to the special permit, or are you good with, based on?
So the special permit requires that the proposed modification, which is non-conforming, not be substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood than the existing structure. And the extension into the front yard setback of 6 additional feet, leaving a 10-foot setback, I would state is not of substantial impact on the neighborhood, and certainly not substantial detriment.
Okay. And I likewise would say that it meets the criteria under 181.33, 181.335. Just want to make sure we're speaking to that criteria.
I appreciate your attention to detail, sir.
What a guy.
Renewing the motion, laying it back on the table. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. The application is approved.
Thank you so much.
All right. Good luck with your project.
Good luck.
All right, we are calling the final item on our agenda today, and this is ZBA 24-3. This is Ms. Dallas Zabala, 376 Clarendon Street. This is a continuance of a special permit under Section 181.33 to reinstate a vacant or abandoned non-conforming 3-family dwelling subject to the provisions of Section 181.94, located in the Residential A District. Ms. Zabala, welcome back to the meeting.
Thank you.
So I had asked the question about getting an update because we had referred you back to the building commissioner to see if you were able to fit under the regular criteria without having to come to a special permit. And I'm just going to have the building commissioner respond to that.
Yes, so I can anticipate many of the questions, including that of Mr. Byrne, that would be asked. Ms. Zabala, or Zabala, how do you pronounce
Zabala.
it? Zabala. And I have been in communication both in person and through email and phone, she's met with myself and Chantel Fleck, and we are making progress towards compliance. She has agreed to facade upgrades and updating the building. And where we are right now is Ms. Zabella has actually engaged an attorney to put together a declaration of restrictive covenants for the other property to make sure that there's not just a written agreement, but it'll follow the title for there to be sufficient parking between the two and for there to be designated spots at the other lot for parking, so that she will comply with the parking requirements for the zoning ordinance. So we are making steady progress to get to the point. She's sent me the draft from the attorney already, and I have to forward it on to our council just to review. But she is making progress towards meeting the administrative requirements so that she doesn't have to go towards a special permit. Also, since the last hearing, I believe the next day, Mr. Burns sent the email saying he's driven by and they're out there cleaning up. And I believe she's been trying to stay up on top of that as well. So regarding the facade updates, it is asbestos siding there. So what she likely is going to be doing is repainting it in a work person-like manner and eliminating any broken asbestos, replacing it with proper replacement, so that it does update the facade in the goals of the zoning ordinance.
Okay. And I think there was already an assessment that the plan for renovation of the interior met the criteria of at least a 50% renovation of the floor area.
Yes.
So my question is, because I hate to keep having you come back, but I would understand, are you yet at the point where you're satisfied that you're going to be able to meet the criteria and do no longer need to maintain this application?
Yes, I will.
Okay. So what we would have you do then is ask to withdraw the application so that we simply don't decide on the matter, so you don't have any negative decision to overcome. And then have you just continue to work with the building commissioner to resolve the permitting process. Is that acceptable to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Then I would be, and do you have any questions about that before we do that?
No.
I just as a public comment, Mr. Burns was fairly ecstatic about your response in cleaning up the property, and I was very glad to see that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
The next day, I could not believe that. I could not believe it. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I also saw, I mean, you have a lot of renovation to do, but the property looks substantially better. And the other thing I'm going to say to you is that I checked the doors this weekend and they were all locked. And I thank you for doing that, because many people we find leave the doors unlocked and there's entry allowed in. And that just makes the property deteriorate. So thank you, and please keep the doors secure.
Thank you.
Mr. McLaughlin, would you like to make a comment first?
Yeah, just a question. Will there be any parking on the property,
Yes.
or is it just going to be remote?
There will be parking on the property.
How many spots?
There's up to 4 parking spaces.
Okay. Yeah. And I only ask because the reality of it is, okay, whatever covenants get put in, I'm sure you're going to do the project and sell it, right? But
I would like to keep the property.
the reality is, nobody's going to park 2 blocks away. They're going to park on the street. So I'm happy to hear that some off-street parking on the premise is provided. To me, the more the better, because that's what's going to make the property successful.
Yes. So, Madam Chair, just to that, I believe there's 2 tandem spots that we've agreed can fit 2 tandem cars. I wouldn't necessarily go up to 4, because then we wouldn't need that other lot. But I think there's 2 tandem from my memory. but the purpose of the declaration of restrictive covenants is a little bit further than what our zoning ordinance explicitly says, because what it does is if Ms. Zabala sells this property or sells the other property, that follows the deed. So even if someone else buys that other property and says, oh, we didn't know, it's on the chain of title, so they can't take that away. That becomes a de facto easement onto that property for those spots.
No, I
And
have-
so I understand practically the on-street, but if there are no on-street spots, at least there's those two off-street. They might have to travel a bit, but at least there are reserved spots.
And I have no doubt that all of you are doing your due diligence to protect that, but I'm just saying, reality is, people aren't going to park several blocks away. They're just going to park on the street. So whatever we can do for off-street parking is the most beneficial.
Definitely agree.
Thank you.
And I think this is not your concern, but review of those provisions of the zoning ordinance are in order at a future date and not by this board.
So
So-
I guess make motion to allow for leave to withdraw.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The application was withdrawn. Good luck with the project.
Thank you. You have a good night.
Thank you. Good luck with your project.
Thanks.
Madam Chair, do you have anything else?
Yes, I do. I would like to take a moment, as people may have noticed, I was absent from the last meeting for personal reasons that were unavoidable. And I just want to take a moment to thank all of my board members and Mr. Commissioner and Ms. Mata especially, and most importantly, Mr. McLaughlin, for handling the last meeting without my presence in person. And can't tell you how much I appreciated everybody stepping in. So thank you. Do you have any announcements, Mr. Byrne?
I would like to make a motion, we adjourn.
Very
Second.
good. All
Do I
those
hear a
in
second?
favor?
Yep.
And good night to all you zonies.
Meeting is adjourned. Have a good night, everybody.